Tim Paine gets his first one-day 100 for Australia.
Leading into that game, I said it took me 2 or 3 games to get comfortable, and around that time I really did start to feel that I could perform at that level. I'd scored a 50 and a couple of 30, so I suppose I was getting to the stage where I was disappointed I wasn't going on my start. So to kick on and get 100 in that game was, I suppose, a great moment.
A wonderful achievement indeed for 25-year-old wicketkeeper batsman Tim Paine, his first one-day international century. It was the 6th one-dayer against England last year in Nottingham, where there were some very nervous 90s.
I was lucky enough to be batting with Mike Hussey, and I was playing really well, I suppose, through most of my innings until I got to about 90. I reckon it took me about half hour to get through that period, and I can just remember those last 10 runs being really, really nervous, and basically Huss saying, mate, don't worry about it, take your time, first one's the hardest, all that sort of thing. So I probably owe him a thanks for getting me through that last 20 minutes.
It all happened very quickly for Paine, who was thrilled just to be in the squad.
But I must admit, when I first went over to England with the Australian side, I thought I'd probably just be filling in it and down in the middle order somewhere. And basically I found out the night before my first game at the Oval, Michael Clarke just tapped me on the shoulder. Basically, he was captain at the time because Ponting was having a rest, and said that you'd be opening the batting. So it was probably good in a way that I didn't find out till late, because I wouldn't have got much sleep.
Off the field, it hasn't taken long for the game's marketers to latch hold of the fresh-faced Tasmanian. Featuring in the annual Men of Cricket calendar, he was also part of the 3 Mobile TV commercial. What?
It was nerve-wracking, very different. Obviously, as you said, there was Haddin and Michael Clarke and Watson, so I think a lot of the people watching that would be thinking who the hell the 4th bloke is, to be honest.
The born and bred Hobart boy doesn't mind the trimmings that come with the job, but he knows everything comes back to his performance in the middle. As a keeper that wants a career wearing the gloves for Australia, he has to be in the right place at the right time.
Brad's been a standout wicketkeeper in Australia for 5 years, and he deserves to play for Australia for as long as he wants to, basically. So for me, it's about performing well for Tassie now. I'm very lucky to get the chance to play for Australia, and I realise that. So, as I said, just performing well now for Tasmania, and hopefully when Brad decides to call it a day or he needs a rest or something like that, it's about making yourself, I suppose, the 2nd best keeper in Australia.
Paine's love for keeping began many years ago when he watched the Australian team play as a boy.
My love of wicketkeeping probably started through Ian Healy. I just love the way obviously he's kept and how good he was at that. Then obviously Gilly's taken it to a new level with the bat, and obviously Brad's now doing the same. There's other keepers around the world, Dhoni and Sangakkara. It's just, I suppose, run of the mill now. If you're going to keep, you have to be able to bat in the top order.
Cricket is not the only sport Paine has played at Bellerive. He was very talented at Aussie rules and played in the top grade alongside his brother Nick for Clarence in the Tasmanian League.
A lot of people say I had to make a decision. I think it was made for me. If you ask a lot of Tigers teammates, I reckon I was a bit scared. But but basically I was playing a bit of Tassie underage footy, played for Tasmania under 16s and all that sort of stuff, and played a senior game here for my club, Clarence, and then on the Monday or Tuesday I got rung up and was offered a rookie contract at 16, so I suppose my footy career was over before it even really got going.
In contrast, his cricket career is far from over. 15 one-dayers for Australia, along with the 2020 game, it's just started.
Goes all the way for 6.
Until the next opportunity arises on the international scene, it's all about Tasmania and doing well for the Apple Isle.
We've got a very good group of cricketers. I think now it's starting to be recognised as well with, I suppose, myself, Ben Hilfenhaus obviously being awesome in the start to his international career. Then you've got your Brett Jeeveses, Travis Burts, Jason Crazier's, George Bailey, our captain, all sort of guys now that are starting to be recognised with either 2020 selection or there's a few other guys who played in the All-Star game not long ago. So we've definitely got a very talented group. And when we put it together, we're right up there in Australia as one of, I suppose, the leading first-class side.